Hey everybody, welcome to Tablet Tech. I'm David. I'm glad you're here today. Today I've got a special unboxing and first look at a brand new Amazon device, and that's the Kindle Scribe 2025 black and white non-frontlit version. This was just released today, which is June 10th, 2026. I think it's available for order. Also, you can get that probably overnight or within a couple of days if you wanted to get one. I know a lot of you have expressed interest in this in my comments for the other Kindle Scribe videos that I've done. And I've done quite a few if you want to go back and check them out. But today we're going to look at what's different between this, other than the front light, what's different between this and the black and white with a front light, and of course the color soft as well. There's also I want to review some of the software features and what really makes the Kindle Scribe special. You know, when you stack it up against other e-ink devices, what would make you want to buy a Kindle Scribe? We're going to review that as well. So first of all, shout out to Amazon for sending this device over for review without condition. You can rest assured that the opinions are mine without any direction, expectations, or pre-approval of the video by Amazon in any way, shape, or form. All right, so here we go. As you see, this is a graphite version, comes with a pen. It's 16 gigabytes. If you can see that, I think I had it off the screen here. Let's flip it over and see what we've got here. Just some of the specs. It's an 11-inch, just like the other two are. 300 ppi display without a front light. The performance on this is much faster than the first and second generation Kindle Scribes. You can feel the difference there. You know, it's got a bunch of new features. You can import documents via a couple of different online storage methods. We've got some pretty interesting AI built into this. And of course, some standard features that you would see on there. This comes with the device itself, the premium pen, which is that white pen, and a USB-C charging cable with replacement tips. So let's go ahead and dig into it. On the inside, of course, we've got the premium pen. It's all white. Let's go ahead and take it out of this wrapper. And on this pen, it's perfectly round, but it's weighted. I had somebody ask me on the previous version, does it roll? You can see that it will start to roll, but it's weighted to where it won't roll off of a desk. So that's a really cool feature. Even though it is perfectly round, that's really cool. Let's go ahead and dig into the device itself, I think. Here you see we've got the device. Now, one of the differences between this and the black and white frontlit version is the bezels on this are a gray that kind of match the screen. I really like that. Let me show you what it looks like compared to the frontlit. All right, take a look at this. As I was putting them together, I hit the power button that's located right here, so it's waiting for me to set it up. But look at the difference in the bezels here. You see the white bezels on the frontlit version. And you know, I think this is probably a pretty good move on their part. When you look at the frontlit version, when you turn the screen on, and if you're using the front light, I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. You're using the front light. If you turn this up, let's go ahead and crank it up here. You kind of have a white match, white screen, white bezels. Over here, you don't have a front light, so you've got, you know, that kind of a off-white screen, maybe a grayish color screen, and then you've got the same color bezels over here as well. So that's a pretty good move on their part. One of the things I didn't show you that came in the box, of course, you know, it comes with a USB-C cable. It comes with extra pen tips. You know, just the standard fare. It looks like you get 5 of them in there. So, and they're those white tips that match the stylus. So let's go ahead and look at the device itself from a hardware standpoint. You know, this is that 11-inch screen, as I said, no front light on it at all. You see the Kindle logo down here in the corner, very subtle. It's not brash and in your face at all. When you look at, let's go ahead and look at the sides here. On the right-hand side, we just have a power button, as you can see right here. We do have that groove where the pen sits. Since the pen is perfectly round, they did put an indentation here for the body of the pen to fit into, and it's a very strong magnet, as I will show you here. You can hold the device by the pen. That's a very strong magnet, and I always do the shake test. Let's see what that's going to do. It's a very strong attachment. I think we're in good shape. I must have pinched a zoom on my screen or hit my display text size or something. So let's go ahead and continue to look. So we got the power button and the pen magnetic strip on that side. On the bottom, We do have the USB-C port, and I've heard that that may be a microphone on the bottom for later use. I don't know if that's the case or not. I haven't heard that, or I haven't confirmed that at least. And then on the left side, we absolutely have nothing. On the back, we do have 4 rubber feet that are very effective at keeping this thing from sliding around on a desk. It's not gonna, move on its own. Certainly not gonna be moving while you're trying to write on it. And then also on the back, we've got the Kindle logo there as well. From a fingerprint standpoint, you can see a little bit of fingerprints there. It doesn't seem to be a huge magnet. But of course, this is very light. It's 400 grams for the device itself. The pen weighs 17 grams. So together it's 417 grams total weight. So pretty lightweight. This is a very nice design. I've compared it to, the quality and the look and feel of an iPad. It really does feel like it's built to those kind of premium standards. So one of the things that I wanted to look at first is without a Frontlight, you would expect that the screen gap would be lessened because they have to put the light layer on there. So you would expect for the screen gap to be less. Let's go ahead and take a look at the one with the Frontlight and see what that looks like. I'm going to try to get you a close-up. And what you're looking for is a shadow around the bezel, around the edge of the screen there. You can see a little bit of a shadow. It's not actually the gap here on this Frontlit version is very, very minimal. They did a really good job of minimizing that. When we look at this one, you also do see what appears to be, and let me get the focus in here. You do have what appears to be about the same screen gap in there, so it doesn't look like there's any difference in how close it is to the surface. So that's very interesting. I think they did such a good job on the Frontlit version that they really couldn't squeeze anything else out of that. I'm really not sure, but it definitely does have the same screen gap as I see on the Frontlit version. So I also did a whiteness test on this device using my whiteness meter. It just measures how close something is to the sample whiteness that it gives you in the box. And really the value in this is comparing it between different devices. So I've got 22 different devices that I've done so far. And let me show you where this one ranks. All right, as you can see here, I've got it highlighted. It came in the number 9 spot out of 16 of the black and white devices. And it came in 9 out of 22 when you look at both black and white and color. So the black and white no Frontlight was an average whiteness of 32.68. The one with the Frontlight was 32.52, so a little bit of difference there. It is a little bit closer to white than the other one was. If you look at the color soft, it's way down here at 16.32. So a couple of differences between the non-Frontlit version, the Frontlit version, and the color soft is, first of all, price. They start off at $429 for the non-Frontlit. It's $499 for the Frontlit black and white version, and then it's $629 for the color soft, and that's the starting price. You can get additional memory configurations. On the non-Frontlit version, it is 16 gigabytes only, where you can get 32 or 64 on some of the other versions, depending on what your needs are. This has the same premium pen that comes with the other Kindle Scribes that I've reviewed as well. As I said, it's completely around. We do have the Kindle logo on the end. We do have a programmable button here as well. It's got the soft nib on it, where you get 5 extras in the package. And then it's got a rubbery eraser on the back. It's got a little bit of play in it, just enough, not enough to make you feel like it's broken, but enough to give you that kind of a tactile feel of, how when you're using a real eraser on the back of a pencil, it kind of has that play in it. It gives you a little bit of that, and it does have a rubbery feel on it as well. Kindle makes setting up their device very easy. As you can see, you've got 2 options. You can set up on this Kindle where you can enter your password, username, so on and so forth, or you can set up with your phone. I'm going to choose that option and show you how that works. It tells you to go to your Kindle app, and then it tells you to go to More at the bottom, and then Settings, and then you look for Amazon Simple Device Setup. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It has detected this Kindle Scribe without a Frontlight. I'm going to go ahead and start the setup now, link and continue. And it's setting up the Wi-Fi network for this device. And let me go ahead and tell it which one I want to use. It says success, your Kindle is now logged into your Kindle account. So there we are. That was very easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. get the newest experience. We'll download, install, and update. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I will come back when this is finished. All right, we're finished with setup. The only thing that I didn't show you is it asked me to set up a passcode, and I did a 4-digit passcode. It asked you to confirm it. I went ahead and did that off camera, but now it's just giving me some hints on how to navigate your Kindle. You can swipe down from the top. It shows you the gestures there. I'm going to just go ahead and click OK and get past that. And you can see we've got the familiar home screen with the 2025 model that's very different than it was on the previous two generations. You got quick notes over here on the side. You've got your most recent documents over here. And then you've got what has been recently added as far as documents or books. And then, of course, you got all the, the Kindle books and stuff that you can download as well. One of the things that's really cool about the Scribe, and I just see this here, they have right on the page with these books. For example, word search or Sudoku. They've got, these puzzles that you can try to, get your way out and stuff like that. It's really cool that you can do that on the Kindle Scribe. Find that very interesting. You can buy and download the books and go ahead and begin using them. So you may already be familiar with this, but we have 4 tabs across the bottom. We've got Home, which is what you're looking at here. We've got Library, which is where your documents and your books are going to live. Now, this is downloading. It's going to show my covers after a period of time. I think that takes a little while. It's not immediate. But then we've also got Workspace. So this is where your notes live. If I can get into that. This is where your notes live. But the cool thing about the new version of the Kindle Scribe 2025 is that you can set up your folder structure. You can have folders, subfolders, subfolders, so on and so forth. The cool thing is that not only can you put your notes in these folders, but anything in your library can also be added to your folder structure as well, so that if you have a project that you're working on, if you're studying something and you need to bring in books or documents that are associated with that, you can create a folder, you can put your notes in there, you can put all those documents and all those books in there, and it's just really cool. It gives you a very good organizational structure for everything that you need for a particular subject or, study topic or whatever the case may be. And then last over here, you've got more, which is which is where stuff like your settings, the web browser lives, Goodreads shelf, legal stuff, your list where you make lists of what you want to download. So it's pretty cool. So I just started writing on the device, and I was thinking this is going to be the same experience as it was on the other two, the ColorSoft and the black and white Frontlit. I don't know if it's because the device is new or what, or if they've changed the screen on this at all. This feels a lot like the 2024 version of the Kindle Scribe, and it's got a little bit more resistance. It's not as slippery as those other two. And feels like I got a little bit more control on this one. I don't know if that's psychological or just because it needs to be broken in or what the case may be, but that is a better writing feel. I brought the black and white Frontlit version up here next to it and wrote on that one as well. And the other one did feel just a little bit, just a tad bit slipperier. Is that a word? Slipperier than this one does. So I said I would tell you what would make you want to buy a Kindle Scribe over other e-ink devices. And, I'm going to show you a couple of those things. One that's really cool, and, a lot of devices will do text conversion, but you'll notice that on some of those devices that, if you write really big and that once it converts it to text, you get this little text box over here on the side of the screen, and it has a line break everywhere you had a line break, and it's just all over here on the left-hand side of the screen. One of the things that's really cool about the Kindle Scribe is that this is not conversion to text. This is just conversion to a handwriting script, but it's erasable. It's strokes on your screen. It is not text. The Notes app on the Kindle Scribe cannot handle text. So let me show you what it looks like to convert this. I'm just going to go up here to this little AI icon, and I'm going to say Refine Handwriting. And it's asking me, do I want to refine the current page or the entire notebook? I'm going to only do the current page for now. And this does take a few seconds, and this is but it's a really cool feature. If you hate your handwriting, which I sometimes hate my handwriting, and you want to store your notes in just a really nice script and really nicely formatted as well, that'll take up the screen. You can see here, it's kind of broken things up like I did. I can come down here and customize this and say, I want to try a different font family. Yeah, I think you have 4 different font families to choose from. I like the Cadia. I'm going to stick with that. But I can also change the font size. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can change the line spacing. Right now it's set for narrow. I can set it medium or wide. But let's go ahead and get out of the customization. And now I can say add it to the notebook. And I can say add as the first page or as the last page. Let's just go ahead and say first page. And now you'll see that it's converted that, and it's really nicely formatted. So you'll see, and this is some Psalms, some verses out of the book of Psalms in the Bible, but you can see how it just intelligently made Psalm 23, Psalm 25, Psalm 27 bold, and that was a header. And then it took everything, I put verse like 15 and a colon there. It just made everything just really nicely formatted. And that is something that you just can't do on other devices. I will show you that this is it's not text. I can erase that just stroke by stroke, just like I could as if I'd handwritten that. And my handwriting is still here if I wanted to keep it. It's just on a different page. I was way into my document, but that's really cool. Another superpower of the Kindle Scribe is that it can search your handwriting, and it does so very, very quickly. So in that Psalm notebook that I was showing you just a few minutes ago, I noticed that the word deliver was in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and type deliver. As you can see, it's already finding the results where it has deliver, both in books and documents and notebooks. But in order to get to my notebooks, I have to say search everywhere for deliver. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So there is a second step that you have to do. And there is my document, crying out to God in the Psalms. There's 6 matches. There's page 1 of 17. It looks like there's a couple of instances there. I'm going to go, and there's text in 3 notebooks. I'm going to go ahead and click on and see what they are. I've got 3 notebooks that have the word deliver in there. So let's go ahead and click on this. And you'll notice that it does highlight the word, and it tells you the results 1 of 6. So I can go to the next result. There it is. Next result. And that is really cool. As you can see, that is lightning fast, and compared to some other devices. So in addition to searching for words in your documents, you can also ask Kindle about your documents. For example, I can go into search Kindle, and I can go into view recent chats and start a new chat and just say, let me ask something about Psalms. I could say, what is the theme of Psalm 25? And let's see what it comes back with. And you can see that we get the results here. And just to show you that, this probably does go out to the internet as well, but let me show you this here. I had asked at one point, one of my chats was, what responsibility does Ari have regarding data flow? This was from one of my work notes. And it comes back and says, it tells me testing data flow, working together with Will, focus on the shrink portion. So that is not coming from the internet. That's coming from an examination of my notes. Now, they probably did have to go up to the internet and be studied by the AI agent and to come back with these results. But that is really cool. So if you've got hundreds and hundreds of notes on here, you're trying to find something, you don't know where to look for it. Keyword search is not getting you where you need to be because you can't remember any specific keywords. You can just ask about your notes and it'll bring you back a summary of what it finds across every notebook on your device. That is a superpower. Another very unique superpower of the Kindle Scribe has to do with our active canvas. If you're, just imagine that you're studying a book, and you want to, take notes in the margins. There's a couple of different ways that you can do that. So a typical book, if it's a paper book or if it's on any other device, you would just write, you'd squeeze your writing in between the lines here. You kind of write in this open space in the margins and try to just kind of squeeze it in. Kindle does something very unique in what they call active canvas. So if I'm looking at this right here and I want to write some notes, I can just anywhere just say write some notes. And you can see that it is going to open up a space. I'm going to say, yes, I want to accept that. Now it's going to open up a box. It'll put my notes in there and it's flowed the text around there. That is really cool. I can move this around if I want to. I can put it somewhere else on the page. I can drag it anywhere else that I want to, right or left. If I wanted to add some notes to it, I could just expand the box out some more and continue to write some additional notes. That's something you don't find on any other device, and this is a superpower of the Kindle. But not only writing in the book itself, you've also got margin notes over here as well. So you can do the margin notes in a narrow, this is about a third of the page, or you can expand it and do like 3/4 of the page. And of course, you can write your notes here as well. All of this, by the way, if you change the text size, in some documents, if you write on them on different devices, and then you change the text size, that writing may or may not stick with those words that you put it next to. This is intelligent, and that's going to stay with the page that it was put on and pretty much in line with the text that you put it on. So that's a superpower of the Kindle Scribe. And that's why, if you're a reader and a studier and you also want to take some handwritten notes and some notebooks, this is an ideal device for that particular purpose. So what do you think? I'm usually not a fan of a non-frontlit, non-color device. I've always said in all my previous videos that I prefer those features to be on a device, but I've found with other devices that have been released recently that I am becoming more enamored with the non-frontlit, um, non-color devices as well. Now, I'm not sure that I'm, actually on that preference, but this is attractive to me, and it's something that I'm definitely going to try it out and replace my ColorSoft with it for a little while and see how I can get along with this. Is it worth the money to you? It's 429, 16 gigabytes, premium design. I think this is the entry point on your Kindle Scribe now, and I think it's an outstanding device. I think the features that you get with a Kindle Scribe, if you're a heavy note taker, and you want to tinker with your device and you want to do a lot of other stuff that you can do with some other devices that are Android based, this is probably not for you. But if you want a well-rounded device, if you want something that's a very competent note taker, if you want all those cool AI features, and if you want to be able to write in your books in a very unique way, using it for study, whether it be Bible study, if you're, a student, whatever the case may be, this is a very unique device, and it's very uniquely positioned to fill a very specific niche in the e-ink market. I have the Kindle Scribe series ranked in my top 10, which I really do appreciate these devices. I love them. That comes from my own use case and how I like to use these devices, and that's writing in those books. And it's that conversion of your handwriting to that script. It's that ultra fast handwriting search that you can do. There is a lot of value in this device for the 429, in my opinion. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.